8 ugly truths about a narcissist that only a hurt empath knows. Have you ever met someone who felt like both the brightest light and the darkest shadow? Someone who was initially captivating, making you feel special, as if you'd finally found your soulmate. You are an empath, a sensitive soul who experiences the world with incredible depth, naturally wanting to heal and understand. But over time, something shifted. That light began to dim, replaced by an energy-draining darkness, leaving you confused, hurt, and wondering what truly happened. If this description resonates with your heart, if you've ever felt your energy completely depleted by someone who seemed to care only about themselves, then you've likely encountered a narcissist. Narcissists and empaths are often drawn to each other like magnets. One constantly seeks supply, the other gives limitlessly. This relationship can be incredibly damaging because a hurt empath carries the burden of unique experiences, a deep and often painful understanding of what truly lies beneath that dazzling mask. This isn't just about ego or arrogance, it's about a much deeper wound and far uglier truths. In this video, we're going to open our eyes and hearts to explore 8 ugly truths about a narcissist that only a hurt empath knows. These are insights gained from bitter experience, yet they are also the key to understanding, healing, and ultimately freeing yourself. Get ready to see them in a way you never have before. It might be painful, but this is the first step towards healing and self-recovery. Let's begin. As an empath, you possess an extraordinary gift, the ability to deeply feel and understand the emotions of others. You view the world through a lens of compassion, trying to find the good in everyone, even in those who seem to lack it. This is precisely what makes you a perfect target for a narcissist. They are masters of illusion, expert manipulators who instinctively draw energy and attention from others to fill their own bottomless inner void. They feel no empathy, meaning you are always struggling alone in this dynamic. Let's delve into these truths that can only be fully grasped by the heart of an empath who has felt the bite of narcissism. These truths might be difficult to hear, but recognizing them is a vital step toward your recovery and liberation. Their mask is thicker than you can imagine. That charm is fake. Narcissists are master deceivers. What you see on the surface, their charm, their charisma, their ability to make you feel like the only person in the world, is a meticulously crafted, very thick mask. This mask is designed to attract, captivate, and bind you, an empath, with their inherent nature to see good and potential in everyone, will easily be drawn in by this idealized persona. You see a soul with the potential to be loved and healed, when in reality it's merely a facade hiding extreme fragility and emotional emptiness. The painful truth is that the dazzling charm is not real. It's not a reflection of their true self, but rather a powerful tool of manipulation. When you try to save or fix the person behind that mask, you will constantly hit a wall. A hurt empath knows how devastating it feels when the curtain is pulled back, and you realize that the person you loved, trusted, and tried to heal never truly existed. You've fallen in love with an illusion, a curated reflection of themselves they want the world to see, not who they actually are. This is a profound betrayal, not just of you, but of the genuine hope and love you offered. Their love is conditional and transactional, a hidden bargain. As an empath, you love unconditionally. You give with all your heart, expecting no equal return. You believe in the power of love to heal and connect. However, a narcissist is incapable of feeling love in the same way you do. For them, love is something entirely conditional, a thinly veiled transaction. They love you, or rather, love you as long as you provide what they need: admiration, undivided attention, constant validation, financial support, or any role that fulfills their desires. The hurt empath feels this bitter truth to their core. There are moments when you give everything, sacrificing your own needs, only to watch their affection vanish the moment you no longer serve their purpose. You'll realize that their affection is fleeting, dependent on how well you're fulfilling their needs at that moment. The instant you cease to be a convenient source of their narcissistic supply, or when you start to set boundaries, that love will evaporate. It feels like being discarded after use, an incredibly traumatic experience for a giving soul like an empath. You come to understand that you were not the subject of their love, but rather an object of their needs. 3. They possess no true empathy. A cold, empty heart. Here lies one of the most fundamental and agonizing differences between you and a narcissist. They possess no true empathy. You feel the suffering of others. They do not. You can put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their feelings. A narcissist lacks the neurological or emotional capacity for that. They might superficially mimic empathy, saying the right things, displaying appropriate facial expressions, but it's merely a learned performance designed to manipulate situations. Beneath that facade, there is no genuine emotional resonance. A hurt empath understands the depth of this emptiness. You've tried repeatedly to make them understand your pain, to make them see your perspective, to make them feel what you feel. You've pleaded, explained, cried, only to be met with a blank stare, a deflection, or even mockery. You realize that no matter how much you try, you will never be able to make them care in the way you need. Their heart, in terms of empathy, is a cold, black hole. This recognition can be utterly devastating, as it means your efforts to connect on a deep emotional level will always be in vain. 4. They project their insecurities onto you, a shattered mirror. Narcissists possess a seemingly grandiose ego, but beneath it lies profound insecurity and unbearable shame. They are incapable of facing their own flaws or pain. So, what do? They project it onto you. They see reflections of their own weaknesses and imperfections in you. And rather than confronting them, they hurl them back at you as criticisms, accusations, and insults. If they feel incompetent, they will accuse you of being incompetent. If they feel ugly, they will criticize your appearance. The hurt empath feels the weight of this projection very personally. You may feel constantly attacked, disparaged and put down, as if you are the cause of all their problems. You start to believe the lies they tell you about yourself, and your self-worth slowly erodes. You might spend years trying to be good enough for them, when in reality they were just seeing themselves in you. The painful truth is that all those demeaning comments were never about you at all. They were reflections of their own disliked self, hurled at you because you were a safe and easy target. 5. They will always be the victim, an endless drama. One of the most frustrating tactics of a narcissist is their ability to always cast themselves as the victim, no matter what happens. If you complain, you're selfish. If you try to set boundaries, you're hurting them. If you leave, you're a cruel traitor. They will twist narratives, blaming you or others for every single one of their own problems and shortcomings. They are masters at playing on sympathy, manipulating others to support their distorted view. The hurt empath often gets caught in this trap. You might constantly feel guilty trying to fix the situation or bearing responsibility for their happiness, only to realize they will never be satisfied. You'll see an endless pattern. They make a mistake, they claim victimhood, and you end up feeling guilty or responsible for cleaning up the mess they created. The painful truth is that the victim role is a powerful tool of control for them. It allows them to avoid accountability and continue to garner sympathy and attention. They will never see their role in problems because that would shatter their perfect self-image. 6. Gaslighting is their weapon of choice. Doubting your own sanity. A hurt empath knows this tactic intimately, and its impact can be truly devastating. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation where the narcissist will make you doubt your own memory, perception, and even your sanity. They will vehemently deny things they clearly said or did, twist facts, and then make you feel crazy or overly sensitive for being confused. They will say, "That never happened," or "You're just imagining things," or "You're being too dramatic." The purpose of gaslighting is to destroy your confidence in your own reality, making you completely dependent on their definition of reality. You might start jotting down conversations or events just to convince yourself that you aren't going crazy. The painful truth is that this is a direct attack on the core of your identity, an attempt to control your very thoughts. Empaths, who tend to self-reflect and seek understanding, are especially vulnerable to this tactic because they will look for fault within themselves rather than realizing they are being cruelly manipulated. It's an incredibly isolating and traumatizing experience. 7. They will not change. False hope is poison. This is perhaps the most difficult truth for an empath to accept. With a compassionate heart, you believe in the potential for change in everyone. You've spent months, even years, trying to heal them, to show them what it feels like to be truly loved, to beg them to see the pain they're causing. You might catch fleeting glimpses of vulnerability, which offer you false hope that they will change. However, narcissists, at their core, will not change. The narcissistic personality structure is highly resistant to change because it is a defense mechanism built over many years. They don't see anything wrong with themselves. They are right, and the world, including you, is wrong. Any change you perceive is simply a tactic to regain control or supply from you. A hurt empath knows how devastating it feels when long-cherished hopes are repeatedly crushed. You realize you've invested invaluable time, energy, and love into a bottomless pit, chasing a fantasy of who you wanted them to be. The painful truth is that you cannot save someone who doesn't want to be saved, and you cannot heal someone who doesn't acknowledge their own wounds. Eat. You are not the problem. They are a reflection of you. After all the manipulation, gaslighting, and criticism, a hurt empath often comes to believe that they are the problem. You might convince yourself that if only you were better, more patient, more understanding, more loving, then the relationship would work. You spend hours analyzing your own every action, trying to figure out where you went wrong. You carry a burden of guilt and shame that you should never have to bear. However, the most fundamental and liberating truth is this: you are not the problem. The problem is their narcissistic personality disorder. You're a victim of a destructive pattern of behavior that has nothing to do with your worth as an individual. In fact, a narcissist chose you because of your positive qualities, your empathy, your kindness, your limitless capacity to give. They saw your light and wanted to absorb it. The painful truth is that you are too good for them, too giving, too full of love. This is not a flaw in you, but precisely your strength. Recognizing this is a huge step toward releasing the guilt they've instilled in you and beginning a journey of self-focused recovery. Understanding these 8 ugly truths is key, and for the hurt empath, it's a deeply needed validation. You are not crazy, you are not overreacting, and you are not alone. Your experiences are real, and your pain is valid. Now that you've seen them with clearer eyes, the next step is to use this understanding as your power. This is about taking back control over your life, your energy, and your inner peace. Remember, this healing process takes time and patience, and it's essential to seek support from friends, family, or professionals who understand this dynamic. You are blessed with the incredible, often underestimated gift of empathy. For too long, you've likely directed this profound capacity outward, pouring your understanding and compassion into others, especially those who didn't reciprocate. Now it's a pivotal moment to consciously and deliberately redirect that empathy back towards yourself. It's time to give yourself the same boundless love, the deep understanding and the gentle compassion that you've so freely and generously given to others, often at your own expense. Recognize that you are inherently worthy of kindness and care. You absolutely deserve healthy relationships, built on mutual respect and genuine connection, where you are consistently valued, truly respected for who you are, and celebrated for your authentic self without needing to perform or compromise your well-being. While the narcissist's actions may have left wounds, deep emotional scars that ache with the memory of what you endured, remember this powerful truth. You have the innate power to heal from these hurts, to grow stronger and more resilient from the experience, and to ultimately shine brighter than ever before. Your light was never extinguished, merely dimmed. Understand this unequivocally. You have the power to break this destructive cycle. It might feel daunting, but the ability to forge a new path, one free from manipulation and emotional drain, resides within you. Believe in yourself and in your capacity for profound change. Trust your instincts, that quiet inner voice that often tried to warn you, and now seeks to guide you towards safety and peace. It's time to begin your journey toward true freedom, a liberation that encompasses your mind, heart, and spirit. This isn't just about escaping a person, it's about reclaiming your entire life. We are truly grateful that you chose to be with us on this journey of enlightenment, sharing in these vital insights and finding validation in your experiences. If this video has touched you in a meaningful way, offering a sense of clarity, comfort, or hope, or if it has helped someone you know by shedding light on their own struggles, please feel free to share it widely. Your act of sharing can be a beacon for others still navigating the darkness, helping to spread awareness and empower more people to find their path to healing. Let's build a community of support and understanding. We look forward to connecting with you again in the next video, continuing our conversation on building a healthier, happier you.